Late Night Health wraps up as we return to Florida and Sarah-Kovach. She is the team lead, therapist team lead at Lakeview Health. What part of Florida are you in?
We are in Jacksonville, Florida.
In Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah.
I have a great memory of being in Jacksonville many years ago doing a TV show. We're heard around the country, around the world now because of iTunes. And if somebody is seeking a treatment center for addiction, why is Lakeview? Well, let me do it this way. What should they look for in a treatment center? And then why is Lakeview the place to go?
Sure. I think what would be really important as somebody who's sort of trying to navigate through all the different treatment centers is to really find a program that, as I mentioned earlier, has a focus on medical treatment, right? So is able to safely detox patients and treat medical issues throughout the whole stay. Dual diagnosis is another really important factor. So considering that we know mental health co-occurs with addiction all the time, that's a really important piece. I think the family component is something that sets Lakeview apart and something that's critical when looking for a treatment program. We offer weekly family therapy sessions, and many of our patients, as you mentioned, are not from Jacksonville or not even from Florida. So we do those sessions on the phone. So we do phone calls. And that's critical because what we know is that we have to educate and treat the family sometimes as much as we're treating the patient, because they've sort of been traumatized by the addiction oftentimes as well.
When looking at all the ads and cutting through the clutter, how do you determine what is right and what is not? I mean, you have to resonate, As I said, I'd love to go to a place where there's a beach and a massage and a pool and spa time and yoga and all this. And you sound like you would like to do that as well.
I would, very much.
All right, we'll go together. But that's what, that's what happens.
Absolutely.
Right? So I'm curious as to what we should, is it just an emotional thing, or you've got the medical, you've got the mental therapy, but there's got to be, you got to have some kind of a magnetism, a feeling that this is the place for me.
Mm-hmm. Right, and so that's where I think you're exactly right. It can be really overwhelming scanning through all the tons of treatment centers around the country. And so I think making sure that the therapists, the treatment team are licensed professional staff, as we are here at Lakeview. Also, there are accrediting boards. So like JCO, for instance, the Joint Commission, they accredit treatment centers, to make sure that we're doing everything, using evidence-based treatments, not just using hypnotherapy and massage because it sounds nice, right?
Right.
Yes, exactly. So that's really important to look at.
And
the credentials of staff. Sure.
And what about, being close to home or away from home? Somebody from Southern California wants to come to Lakeview. There's no problem with that, but is that a good idea to be away from family and friends?
Absolutely, yeah. And so I always recommend to families, if they're considering options locally here in Jacksonville or looking outside, to really consider sending loved ones farther away. And that's for a few reasons. First of all, if people are in their hometown, the first time they experience cravings, the first time they start to struggle with missing home, missing loved ones, working through issues in therapy, right? So kind of dealing with some of these difficult issues, it's easy to want to run, right? To run and go back home. When you're a little bit farther away from home, you feel more committed. It's not as easy as every time I have a craving, I can walk down the street and find whatever I'm wanting to use. And so it provides that level of safety just in distance, honestly. And it gives people the opportunity to really fully focus on themselves and everything that they need to work on to be sober. If you're in your hometown and having to still kind of worry about issues at home that are not getting taken care of or seeing family. It
makes perfect sense. Listen, Lakeview Lakeview Health in Jacksonville, Florida. And what is the way to connect with you?
Sure. So you can go on our website, lakeviewhealth.com.
lakeviewhealth.com. That's probably the best way to do it. We are out of time. We'll have to have you back, Sarah, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. All right. That wraps up our first hour. Hour 2 coming up. If you don't get it, you can go to latenightshealth.com. More coming up. Don't go away.